Hi, it's Professor Brown with a short video on brainstorming. As you know, brainstorming is getting ideas out. Now, in order to brainstorm, you have to have a topic. You have to have something that you're writing on, and you might need to narrow that topic, get it down to the right size. We don't want to write a book, right? We don't want to be struggling for ideas because the idea is too small. We need a just right size topic. But once we have the topic, now we brainstorm. Now, brainstorming, many different ways to brainstorm and get the ideas out onto paper. We've talked about a few of them here. I like to have listing as something that you practice at least once in this class, and that's where you just list ideas out. Sometimes feel like people like to free write. They just write all their ideas out, but then free writing, it's hard to know where the sections are. It's just one big glob. So listing ideas out is going to allow you to start seeing where some listed ideas go together. Say, ooh, that idea goes with this idea. We start clumping. And again, clumping is where we take ideas that are similar and put them together. So you might come up with ideas, and then after your ideas are listed out, you might take this idea and go, ooh, this idea goes up here with this one, right? And you cut and paste it up there. And then you go, oh, this idea, that goes down here. These two kind of go together. And once you start putting ideas together and separating them out into 2 or 3, usually 3 groups, 3 is a great number for writing essays, right? You have ideas starting to form like groups, and you start realizing that that group has a quality or characteristic or a title to it. And that's what we want to do. We want to name our group or name our clumped ideas into a keyword or keyword phrase that we can use in our blueprint. It's a really great, easy thing to do. Once you have enough ideas that are stuck together, you go, oh, all of those ideas are about, and then you fill in the blank with your keyword or keyword ideas and give that clump a title or a name. Now, as you're clumping these ideas together, you're probably going to find that one of your clumps might be too big, right? They're not the same size. You'll come up with, very rarely will you get 3 perfectly sized clumps that are equal. You'll come up with one that's too much. And you might need to take, if it's a really big clump, you might need to split it in half into 2 other groups, right? So you come up with 2 clumps. You may have a pretty good sized clump of ideas, the same number of listed items, and then another one that's very similar, and then a third one that's itsy bitsy, only a few ideas. Well, you have to decide with that group or that clump, is this idea equal to the other 2 ideas? If it deserves its own clump of ideas, I need to now brainstorm some more and grow the ideas in this little itsy bitsy group so that it's the same amount of information as in the first 2 groups. So brainstorming becomes this active process where we're coming up with ideas. We're just saying, well, then what? Well, then how does that work? Or what else do I need to know? Or what would the reader want to know? We're asking questions. And we're listing the ideas out, and then we're taking those listed pieces and we're moving them around into like clumps. Oh, that goes with that one. Oh, that idea goes with that one, right? And you start clumping. You realize, oh, this whole clump has the characteristic of this. This is what it's all about. And that's the title, that's the name, right? So you have a little light bulb moment where you realize, that all of those things are about this. That's the title. All right, so as you've put your clumps together, you now have recommended 3 clumps for an essay of ideas. You've put a title on each brainstormed clump. Now you go through and you say, is this all that the reader needs to know, or is there more that the reader will need to know about this? Are there more details? So our brainstorming has a second level, more brainstorming. It's not just the first time. So you're brainstorming the first time. You're rearranging the ideas to find out what the clumps are, the groups are. You're naming those groups. And then you're going to say, is this group complete? Do I need more? What else does a reader want to know? We give more brainstorming. Of course, after we've brainstormed, we need to order that information of these 3 clumps. What does the reader need to know or want to know first? And that would go first. We move that clump up top. And then what comes next? What does the reader need to know or want to know next? That clump would go second. And then finally, the 3rd clump. Now inside the clump, you have to do the same thing with ordering. You've got all these ideas. You have to say, are these ideas in the right order? Is it in the order of what the reader wants to know or needs to know? And so you're going to rearrange some of the things inside your clump to make sure it's in a very nice order that makes sense. And sometimes when you're ordering, you're like, oh, I need to add something here. Again, you're adding more information. That's all good and fine. That's part of brainstorming. Once you have your clumps, those are your Roman numerals 2, 3, and 4 if you're doing the 5-paragraph essay. The first paragraph is your introduction. Your number 2 Roman numeral, second is your first idea, first clump. Your number 3 Roman numeral is your second idea or second clump. Your number 4 Roman numeral is your third idea or clump, right? So you can start putting your information into the outline and watch the next video on how to put together your outline.